A key part of the AI DLC is Evals, and that's something nobody talks about. So today, we're going to talk about how to go from problem to goal with Evals, because without Evals, you've got no way to do it. And I think this is where it becomes important. If you're a product manager, an engineering lead, an enterprise architect, or anyone who's building or overseeing something with LLMs or generative models in the loop, this is for you. It's the core idea. AI Product Triad. 3 elements: problem, goal, and Evals. And the argument I'm going to make, and I feel really strongly about this, is that you can't build AI without this. This is the line I'm drawing, because at the end of the day, how we define done is how we evaluate success. If you've been building for a while, you know we're no longer on firm ground. Determinism is over. Without determinism, we have to come up with new ways to identify the code. A plus B never equals C anymore, because how A and B come together differ. With a model in the loop, any AI model, Claude, Anthropic, Google, AWS, your output is A plus B-ish. Sometimes something you didn't anticipate at all. It's all probabilistic. It's like assessing or driving in a busy city. You've got roundabouts and pedestrians and construction zones, and other drivers do crazy things, unpredictable things. This is the fundamental shift. And I've spent my career working in highly regulated industries. And this is where safety, compliance, evaluations are critical. You need to be able to say with confidence, did I get the outcome I was expecting? Not how did I get to the outcome? That's a key difference. Did the system behave competently in a complex and ambiguous situation versus did the code do its thing? Very different set of questions from traditional to AI system. So, vibes. Vibes are dead. Vibes are bad, right? As you can see with this iceberg here, you've seen the pattern. A product manager sits down, runs 5 prompts, gets 5 good answers, looks good, ship it. That's vibes. But what about hallucination drifts, silent failures, edge cases? What you see above the waterline, those 5 answers that look great, it's maybe 10%. But what about everything the 90% below? The hallucinations, drift over time, silent failures where system gave the right answer, but you didn't define the right way in the right edge cases. In the world of AI, the line between correct and catastrophically wrong is thin. And I think this is the difference. The output looks right. It reads fluently. It sounds confident, but it might be completely fabricated. And unlike a 500 or a 404 or a crash page, there's no alarm bells. It just was wrong. If you're relying on vibe checks for AI products, you're flying blind, man. In a regulated, high-stake environment, you can't afford to do that. So a lot of people say, well, I've got a PRD. Okay, great. User stories, PRDs. In the new world, your evaluations need to be your PRD. The evaluation system is your product requirement. In the old world, deterministic, product owners would write user stories with acceptance. A user, I want X so that Y and Z outcome. Engineers built that, deterministic, scripted, predictable. But not in the world of probability. In the new world, our job isn't just to write rigid acceptance criteria. It's to curate golden data sets, a representative sample of real input from real consumers with real understanding of what the system should do and ideal outputs. Define the rubric, clear structure, and have practical reality built into this. Now, teams with robust systems upgrade in days. New model comes out, they swap because they've got easy ways to evaluate. Teams without it, that could take months, weeks, or never happen until you get that dreaded email from OpenAI, this model's being sunset. If you take nothing else from this video, take this, building a Eval system before you build your product, or at least in parallel, because evals define your products and you'll fail in production without them. Here's a good example, like a Booking.com case study. Let's get in the idea of the triad here, right? The problem. When I say problem, I mean the full picture, user context, tasks, constraints, nuances. Concrete examples. Imagine you're building an AI assistant for a large travel company. Your users are price conscious. The task is to find a hotel in Paris. Seems simple enough. Concrete example. Imagine you're building an AI assistant for this travel platform. Your user, you've done this, but here's where things go wrong and get real. Your constraint, the agent must not recommend properties outside the platform inventory. If it starts suggesting hotels at other sites, it's a failure. The agent needs to behave differently for first-time travelers who don't understand what it means versus road warriors who travel all the time and filter on price and Wi-Fi. This is what I mean by defining the problem with precision. It's not help user find hotel. It's the user's task constraints and nuances to make it down and happen. In my experience, leading digital platforms in complex, regulated industries, this is the most critical step you're going to go through with quantified ROI and clear boundaries. This is where teams succeed or fail, and it becomes up to you to really want to do this. Question is, do you want to put the work in? So think of this as a 4-part framework. What does good mean? Role. Who's evaluating? Expert customer service manager evaluates differently than a random intern. Define the persona of the judge. Think of it all the way back. Who, what, when, where, why. Context. What's the background? A frustrated enterprise user who's been on hold for 45 minutes, or a happy customer leaving positive feedback? Same response can be excellent in one context and tone deaf in the other. What's the goal? What specific criteria define success? Accuracy, empathy, brevity, adherence to brand guidelines. Name them explicitly. And labels. What's your scoring rubric? What's the difference between a 3 and a 5? What makes something a 1? Here's insight that I want you to hold on to. You aren't checking for crashes. You're checking for competency. That's the fundamental difference, fundamental mindset change that demands this kind of structured thinking. Vibes. How do we turn them into data rubrics, right? We need precision, quantitative outcomes, not qualitative statements. So if you're evaluating a customer support AI and you have a score 1 through 5, score 1, fail. System misunderstood the problem, gave incorrect information, or used a rude tone. That's not subtle, that's broken. 3, acceptable. The core problem was addressed. Tone, robotic. Response was too verbose. It works, but it doesn't delight. 5, excellent, accurate, concise, empathetic. Met all the brand guidelines. That's the target. Now here's the culture change you need to drive into your teams. Stop saying make it friendlier. That's vibes. Vibes are dead. Subjective. It means something different to me versus you versus your teammates. Start saying score greater than 4 on empathy. That is a metric that is quantified. You can track it, you can trend it, you can improve it. This rubric turns subjective opinions into structured data. And structured data is what lets you actually improve over time instead of endlessly tweaking prompts based on wherever complain last. What are we going to do? How do we start? The golden data set. A golden data set is your source of truth. It's a curated collection of 150 at a minimum to 100 real input-output examples, not synthetic, not hypothetical, real examples pulled from your production logs. Input, cancel my order. Output, I can help with that. What's your order number? And here's the key. Start with failures. Find the bad. Find the things you don't want to occur. Outside in. Go review your last 50 production interactions. Find the one that went wrong. Confuse the user. Hallucinate the answers. Edge cases that no one anticipates. It's those failures that are the most valuable data because you tell exactly how your system broke. The best evals on the ground are messy, imperfect, real world data, not happy path, not clean, not curated, ugly. Data at 2 a.m. when things go bump in the night is a data you want as part of your eval golden data. That way, you have evals that reflect reality. LLM-as-a-Judge is like the next step, right? You've got your golden truths, but you need to be testing, evaluating. I can't have every single output reviewed by a human. We all know that, right? This is where LLM-as-a-Judge comes in. One of the more powerful patterns for AI evaluation. The idea is straightforward. Take your system output, pass it into a separate judge model along with your rubric. The judge provides a score, 4 to 5, reasoning, tone, professionalism, relevance. Why does this work? Because it gives you a structured score for subjective traits like tone and relevance at scale. Thousands of outputs evaluated in minutes. Here's the catch. I can't stress this enough. The judge is only good as your rubric. Objective rubric, subjective rubric, inconsistent judge. Sharp, specific rubric, remarkable evaluators. Don't skip the rubric work. Plan. This will lead you to success. Now, we talk about all of this, golden data sets, LLM-as-a-Judge, audit logs. Why? It is part of what I call the Swiss cheese model of AI quality. It comes from risk management. The idea is simple. Every layer of defense is going to have a hole. Let's acknowledge that. No defense is perfect. But if you stack enough of them, the holes aren't going to align and the failures are going to get caught. Example here, we've got layer 1, unit tests, code graders, structural issues. Is the output valid JSON? Did it come back with latency requirements? Fast, deterministic. Layer 2, automated evals, LLM-as-a-Judge, quality, relevance, tone, brand at scale. Layer 3, human reviews, nuance, safety, stuff that really requires a human judgment and input, domain context that it wouldn't understand. And then A/B testing, real user acceptance. Failures that slip through one layer are going to get caught by the next. No one layer is perfect, and we admit that from day one, but the stack is robust. In my experience leading platform, this layered approach is the only way to give confidence that you've actually built quality. Quick note for those of you who build agentic systems. And that's a lot of us now, right? If you're here and you've listened this long, it's probably one of you too. Agent evaluation is a different ballgame. When you evaluate a QA system, you ask, was the answer correct? With an agent, you need to evaluate the chain that it goes through. 3 metrics matter the most. Tool selection, did it pick the right API and MCP endpoint? If your hotel booking agent calls a weather API instead of the availability API, it's a failure. Arguments correctness. Did it pass the right parms, the right APIs, the right MCP, the right ATA call, but the wrong dates, the wrong location, the wrong filters? Success rate. Did it actually complete the task? Did it book the room? Did it cancel the order? Did it retrieve the right record? These require their own eval frameworks. Don't shoehorn agent evaluations into Q&A evaluations. Similar, but much more details needed. This brings us back to the data flywheel, right? When we have agents, these aren't one and done. These are things that live. And you, as a data owner, as a product owner, have to keep these flywheels running 24/7. And this is where you go from, hey, I built something cool in AI to I built a mature agentic system. The best teams don't even run evals once. They build a data flywheel, continuous loop, offline, online. So offline, it's the lab. You run your golden sets against every change. It's in your CI/CD pipeline, every prompt change, every model swap. Did it break? Did it build? Did it pass? Online, hey, God only knows what people are going to do with your data. You check production data, production logs, watch for drift, ask, am I answering the right questions with high fidelity? The Flywheel online failures feed back into your offline golden data sets. You find failures in production, you add it to your test suite, you continually improve your system. The loop is your compound interest of AI quality, just like in finance. It's what separates mature to just juniors. One of your final layers of defense is going to be guardrails. They catch the unforgivable. And guardrails will exist at multiple layers within your ecosystem. I've seen systems with 5 or 6 guardrails, and that's perfectly fine. There's 2 categories of failures that guardrails are there for. 1, catch things like hallucination. Did the bot invent something? Is there no relevance to that? Does it not relate back to something? Especially in a regulated environment, it isn't just embarrassing. It can be a compliance issue. Safety violations, refusal consistencies. Does the system constantly block jailbreak attempts, stay on brand every single time? If you're selling for company A and all of a sudden starts answering for company B, or gives your system prompt in a pirate voice, you need a guardrail to make sure that doesn't happen. Our job is to make sure LLMs don't embarrass our brand. These guardrails aren't option. These are table stakes to building mature systems. Said a lot, talked about a lot of work. Who owns those roles? Product owner, enterprise architect, AI engineers. The product owner owns the rubric, defines definition of good, owns the golden data set, the examples, helps support error analysis, reviews failures, understands what went wrong from the user's perspective. Enterprise architects and engineers own the pipeline, the infrastructure, the prompt optimization, test runners. They own the observability, the other platforms that will exist to support this, the guardrails, things of that nature. And shared, both sides review, collaborate together, and iterate together. The PM needs to understand why the prompt change worked or didn't work. The engineer needs to understand why a particular failure matters to the business. Teams failure when they don't talk and throw things over the wall. Engineers cannot build in isolation, and PMs can't build by themselves. It doesn't work for traditional, and it doesn't work in AI. Error analysis. This is probably going to be your highest ROI activity once your product is in production. There's 4 steps to it. It's pretty simple. Observe. Read 100 traces. Don't fix anything yet. Just read it. What's going on with your system? Then tag it. Context miss, tone errors, looping. Give each failure pattern a name, and you'll come up with consistent terms, and you'll use that going forward. Count. How often did it occur? How often is the error? 1 in a million versus 1 every 100 is going to help you prioritize. And prioritization is the next one. Fix the errors hurting the most users the most often, or are the most expensive errors in your system. Simple? Heck yeah. Powerful? It's incredibly powerful. You can't do this without this. Do not outsource this. Do not delegate this. Error analysis is what you do now as a product owner. This is your moat. This is what makes your product sell better than the rest. The team that understands their failures builds the best product that works. If you're watching this and you've made it through a lot, and I greatly appreciate it, would love a like and subscribe and comment below if you think this has been of value. But how do I start your first 50? Step 1. What are they trying to do? What are the top 3 to 5 user intents? What are people actually trying to do with your system? Then go find 10 to 20 real log examples of each. That's your golden data set. Why are they here? What problem and goal do I have? What do my logs look like to support that? And then draft a 0-1 simple pass-fail rubric, right? I know we talked about it 1 through 5, but hey, you can start off very simple. Don't overthink it. What's a pass? What's a fail? Run your first manual evals. Do it yourself. Pen and paper, Excel spreadsheet. Personally review the outputs of your metric. That's it. Now you have a baseline. And once you have a baseline, improvement is measurable. Once you've gone from 0 to 1, it's all just an iteration from here, guys, and you're off to the races. Now, anti-patterns are really important. I gave you a lot of advice of how to do evals, but you can fail. And here's a good example. And this is where teams sabotage themselves. Happy paths are the death of good products. If all your test cases are easy ones, you'll never catch the hard failures. You have to be adversarial. Hey, is it now rhyming out my system prompts? Is it talking about my competitors? Is it doing something I don't want it to do? Maybe giving the weather when you didn't ask for that? What are the edge cases, stuff that you never imagined? And I'll give you some prompts to help with that. Freezing the rubric. Your definition of good must evolve. What was excellent 6 months ago is not excellent today. Ignoring, I don't know. Sometimes refusal is the right answer, but evals should reward a system that says, I'm not sure, over one that hallucinates. And you should research why it couldn't do that. Separating a prompt from the PM. If you can't read the prompt, you don't understand the product. Your product owner doesn't need to exist. So definition of done. Let me leave you with this. Before you ship any feature, run through the checklist. Problem. Is the user and persona clearly defined? Do you know who the user is and what they're trying to do? Goal. Do you have a rubric that is quantifiable, that defines good versus bad, written down and specific? Evals. Do you have at least 50 or more real examples for a golden data set? If not, stop, go find it. Loop. Are you running your evals on every prompt change? Is the flywheel spinning? If not, you need to improve. If you can check all four, you're building AI products like a professional. If you can't, that's your priority list. Hey, everybody. I really hope that you've enjoyed this. Understanding the AI triad, problem, goal, and evals is critical for us to be successful in developing great AI products. If you want more, if you want to hear what's next, more focused on the enterprise architect, like and subscribe, follow along, and we'll be posting more. Have an awesome day. This is Nick with NP and Tech.